Hi, my name is Pam Gilo, and I want to share with you a little bit about mental health and Soul Naturals products. Um, this is going to be, I'm going to try to limit it to a few directions, but mental health itself is a very broad topic. But what I really want to get across with you is how these products can help anyone anywhere, anytime with whatever issue they're going with. And I'll be inserting a few of my Pamisms, I guess, some things that I've learned throughout the years. But for the most part, I come from a double perspective, actually. I've been working in the mental health field for a very long time, specifically in the past 4.5 years on a behavioral health unit for inpatient psych. So that's acute care. That's where we see people who need to go to get something worked out in a hurry so they are safe. And I also have the perspective of being a caregiver because as of a year ago this month, my daughter was herself in an inpatient psych unit in another state. And that will be a whole another book because that was very tragic for everyone, especially her. But here we are a year later, and she's stable now, and it's been a long road. But with that, I have the perspective of being a caregiver and having to maintain a level of stability myself so that I could be able to take care of her. So I started with Soul Naturals. Actually, I went through a health coach training program. I'm kind of a learnaholic. I'm a certified occupational therapy assistant. And when I graduated, I went to rehab and worked in rehab for a long time. And then that kind of phased out when the company got bought out. So that's when I went to work in mental health. And with that, I thought, well, I really like to talk with people. What should I do? So I got some training and became a certified health coach. And then I thought, oh, what am I going to do now? Mind you, I still have a job. I just like to keep busy. And I prayed about it, and my cousin got in touch with me and said, hey, there's this thing called Soul Naturals. Why don't you try it out? So she thought it'd be a good fit, and it is. It's been great for me in my life. And um, I'm so used to it now, and it's good because when I see other soul specialists, the same thing happens. Sometimes you just take for granted because I think everybody uses soul because I use it every day in my life. And when I try to talk to people who don't, it's kind of like weird because I feel like everybody should just this should just be normal that everybody has some products in their medicine cabinet or in their turnstile or on their kitchen counter or wherever it is that you store things that you take. So that's a little bit about me. I live in Indiana, so I'm a Hoosier. I'm in my son's room now. Speaking of being a Hoosier, he's at IU because he is finally able to go back to school. They've opened it up, and so he's there. And this is really the only clean room in the house. So here we are. So yeah, I kind of might want to talk a little bit about the supplements that I take, and then share a little bit about my story as well. Being introduced to soul right because I wanted the health coaching, but of course there were things that were going on with me physically, and I had an acute meltdown, I think, in my gut. I went to the hospital, and they said I was just constipated. And so I'm like, great, thanks. My belly was actually rising like it had an alien in it, and the doctors and nurses were like, wow, we've never seen anything like that. And I was in such extreme pain. They gave me a muscle relaxer, which was fine, but you can't work on muscle relaxers. And they told me to eat the Brad diet, which I don't know if you're familiar with that, but that's bananas, rice, applesauce, and toast. Yeah. So did that, and then I just thought there's got to be something else, and started doing some research about gut health, and that kind of led me also to the soul products, and thank God because that was a mess. And like I said, right now I take these products so I don't have these issues anymore. And then when I hear other people complain about their belly, I'm just like, I got the solution. So let me share a little bit of what I take. I think I brought up some, but not all. So this is my little bag of goodies. This Soul Clear SI I take honestly because I feel like I see better. I'm more clear. It cleans out my nose, all those nasal passages. I can focus better. I've done without that before and quickly ordered it because it makes such a huge difference. This is the Power Chi. This is something that I take simply to stay awake and deal with everything that has to be dealt with. The Soul Maca because I'm a woman, and this is another side story. Hot flashes, yeah, not fun. I don't know, some of you ladies who have had them can understand, but I remember being at the mall in a dress shop with my daughter having a hot flash, and I walked outside the store and thought I was going to die. I literally went into a full-on sweat, and I couldn't talk myself out of it. It's the first time I've ever felt like something and I couldn't like breathe through it or whatever. It was physically disgusting and sweating every night and just gross. So my God, never eat without that. Yeah, Cinnamate. I have this every day at lunch, and I'm with my lunch ladies and pour it in. I have it nice and hot, and they're like, "Ooh, it smells good." I'm like, "Yes, it does," and it's amazing. So this gets me through the second half of the day at work, and then when I come home, this is the first thing I do is renew, and this is because there's different kinds of things that I need to deal with at home, right? You've got dinner. Husband comes home, says this and this and this. Did you know this? My daughter's home. As soon as I get home, everybody wants my attention. I'm telling you, even though kids are older, there's still things to plan. There's still things to organize. I have a daughter who's going to be married in December, and another daughter who's going to have a baby. And I said my son is at IU, and then my other daughter with her mental illness, which is, by the way, schizophrenia, is at home with us. So I have 4 adult children. Yeah. So that's my routine. I get up in the morning. Oh, and I have the soul vibrations, and that is great for your gut. I can't go on. I might have some specific things, but I want to talk a little bit more about mental health. But the soul vibrations is a must for good belly health. And the adaptable, I didn't bring up my adaptable. Oh, okay. So I have the adaptable also before I go to bed, and that is a great stress reducing supplement. And so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that are absolutely necessary. I couldn't live without. Throw in a couple more depending on what kind of day it is, and what I'm doing. So I'm going to talk a little bit. I have some time left. Like I said, I'm an educationaholic, but also with that, I have to keep up my license. So I have to take CEUs, which is actually great. So the last one I took was something called Food and Mood, a therapist guide to the role of nutrition in mental health. So talking about soul supplements, we're also talking about nutrition, right? Because they're actually made from plants. So we're not just talking about something in a pill, something that can just magically make you well. We're talking about putting food, nutrition, supplements into your body, along with water, air, sunshine, exercise, that will complete the whole thing. So, it's pretty apparent nowadays that people know that food is and nutrition is important. But here's the main things that you need. Mood and feelings of well-being will be improved by ensuring that one's diet provides adequate amounts of complex carbohydrates, essential fats, amino acids, vitamins and minerals, and water. And I tell you what, you could have a few of the Soul products and live a couple weeks and not even eat. I'm just telling you. There's so many great things. Good emotional health. Diet is just one piece of the puzzle. When our brains are working better, we become more capable of responding more quickly and more effectively. And that's just true. I mean, it's really hard to respond if you're not even aware. So I think what, for me, the soul supplements do is just make me aware. I oftentimes equate it to the Matrix, like I was living in the Matrix before and totally unaware of my life and what I was doing and what I was feeling. And I feel like now with the supplements, I'm awake and aware and alive, and everything is like vibrating. Western diet, I think we all know how that is not really a very good thing. I'm going to highlight a couple things I thought were just great. The research on nutrition's impact on mental health. The food we eat has the potential to affect our mental health and well-being at every stage. Diet is the largest, get this, diet is the largest single stimulus to the body's biochemical balance, or homeostasis. Research into brain functioning has revealed that emotions are not merely attitudes created through the mind's thought processes. They are produced and reinforced by biochemical activity within the brain. This biochemical activity is affected by nutrients supplied by the foods and supplements we consume. Of course, there's so many things that nutrition can help with: depression, ADHD, Alzheimer's, schizophrenia, anxiety. So the supplements, being nutrition, can help with all these things is the point. And I think we all know how terrible things can get. So 5 substances that affect our mood and depression: B vitamins, water, essential fatty acids, sugar, and processed food. I think I want to talk, there's one more thing. This was, when you get into mental health, it's just a mind-boggling, there's so much. I think, okay, this is what's funny. Not funny, but interesting. The symptoms of depression: insomnia, confusion, delirium, low energy, poor concentration, irritability, apathy, anxiety, fatigue, lethargy, delusions, paranoia, and aggressiveness. Very similar to the symptoms of vitamin B deficiency: insomnia, confusion, delirium, low energy, poor concentration, irritability, apathy, anxiety, fatigue, lethargy, delusions, paranoia, and aggressiveness. So there's so many things. We could go into sugar, we could go into all these sleep and neurotransmitters in the brain, all these things. The point is, you need to put into your body what is effective and good, and realize that you're worth it and that you need to take care of yourself, especially if you are a caregiver and you have others relying on you. And honestly, you should just want to do that so you can live the best kind of life that you can live, because we're only here for a little while. And you only have one life. So if you have any questions about anything, you want to reach out to me, I'm on Facebook, Pam Gielo, Gielow. I am on Instagram, at PamelaJB5. And honestly, if you just Google Pam Gielo, I come up everywhere. I have like pictures from eons ago. So if you want to find me, again, my name is Pam Gielo, and I would love to talk with anybody about any of these supplements or mental health, or I belong to a few groups online with mental health, trying to provide support, and it's something I'm glad now that people are talking about, especially with the COVID. We're seeing a lot more of the effects of being alone, which just proves that we need to be in community with each other. So please don't be afraid to reach out, or reach out to Betty. And if there's anything I can do, let me know. Thanks. Have a great day.